Please be advised that Little Miss Recap contains adult language.
I would push her down the stairs like showgirl style, make her trip, and just be like, love me. He is so hot. And those eyes, oh my God.
Hi everyone, welcome to Little Miss Recap, the podcast where, I don't know, we don't even have 2 friends to invite to a dinner, let alone 16. I mean, I could not scrape up 16 friends. I don't know about you, Leslie.
No, I would have to pay people. Actually, that would not be a prize for me because I don't want people in my house.
I know, me too. No, not a prize. My name's Amye Archer. I'm your host. I'm here with the lovely Leslie DJ for our very final And Just Like That.
I'm so sad. I really am because, Amy, this week we learned that love is dead or in a coma for 5 years.
Here's my overall thoughts are on this episode. It was anticlimactic.
Yeah.
Like, it was just like I watched it and I was like, oh, okay, so that happened. Like, it really just fell flat, and Michael Patrick King wrote it. So I'm just going.
And a lot of it, it's like there were moments of hope where I was like, oh,
yes,
and then it's like,
yes.
oh, no.
Yeah, it just wasn't, I don't know. And I had said at the very beginning when they brought Aiden back, I said they cannot have Carrie hurt him again.
Yep.
If they break up, it's got to be on him, and he'll probably do it for the kids, and that's what will happen. But then I was lulled into this like world where I was like, maybe they'll just get married. And the reason I switched was because I honestly thought they were not getting a season 3.
Yeah.
Like, I thought this was it. We were done. The way they wrapped all of these characters up, do you really need another season?
No, but we do, you and I, to hate watch. No. But seriously, did you realize, because we were privileged enough to get screeners, our screeners for this finale dropped at 3:48 a.m. And I think that it dropped on Max at 4. So we had no extra time. So maybe they were like, maybe they had 2 endings and they were like, oh, if we get picked up, we swap it out.
Maybe.
Because if this was the series finale, it would suck.
That's an interesting thought if they didn't get picked up. Do you think they didn't know they weren't getting picked up?
I don't think they knew. And especially with the writers and actors strike, maybe, things were a little even dicier.
Okay. So maybe they shot, although I did listen to the Writers' Room podcast. Did you listen to it?
Yes, I did.
He's insufferable. Knowing he wrote this, and he says things like, guys, I'm going to do this imitation. I'm not going to imitate his voice, but I can tell you what he's saying. He'll be like, and then that beautiful line where it just drips with sentimentality and, Sarah Jessica Parker just, whoever wrote this, I just want to fuck them. It's like, dude, you wrote this.
Exactly. Oh my God. And also, I forgot for which moment that he was like, I'm getting choked up talking.
Oh, he was crying about Steve.
And I'm like, you did this to him.
Wait a minute. I was like, okay. I was like, you're crying over Steve. Little Miss Recap endorses men crying. We love it. Embrace it. However, wouldn't you have cried about LTW maybe losing her child or Carrie and Aiden breaking up? You're crying about Steve. That was a weird take.
MPK, he doesn't have children and he hates children, clearly, the way he writes them. So to him, that's probably like a blessing in disguise. Like, oh, well, she didn't want it anyway.
That's so freaking weird. Weird. Okay. So this is, and just like that, season 2, episode 11, The Last Supper, part 2, Entree. Mm-hmm. So I did this all in one straight summary narrative because it's all kind of one scene.
Yeah.
So it's just going to be a lot of this happened. So just interrupt me and interject whenever. Okay, first we have the cameo from Samantha. What did you think?
To be honest, I was pleasantly surprised because it exceeded my expectation. I honestly thought that when she would call, she would just be like on a FaceTime and we wouldn't see Kim Cattrall outside of a tiny phone screen. So the fact that
Oh,
she
okay.
was dressed up and she was in a car and it kind of seemed like she was part of the show, I was like,
Mhm.
oh, this is cool. And then all it did was remind me that this series is no good without her. That's all that did.
I kind of agree. I don't know what the backstage beef is. I mean, I clearly see that MPK is like married to SJP, like they are
Yeah.
soulmates. And that probably just got under everybody's skin. It's like a Cody and Robin situation, and Kim Cattrall's like Christine. I don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We need her back. We need her back.
I think so. But Kim is doing so many things, and I really hope that her new series on Netflix is so cute, glamorous,
Mhm.
or gets picked up because that was really
Yeah.
cute. And also she's doing How I Met Your Father, so she's
Oh, right.
she's booked and busy. And in order to get this little cameo, this was like a minute long scene. She negotiated like a ton of shit. Like she got projects greenlit by Max for this. Like she got deals out of this. Like she was like, "Oh, make it worth my
And
time."
probably a fuck ton of money.
They like unloaded a
Mhm.
truck at her house.
Yeah, yeah. All right, so we see that she's not coming to the dinner. Now, Carrie has this kitten. This kitten is everything to me. Why we did not give Carrie a kitten earlier, I have no idea. This kitten
This
is
is why.
perfect.
Okay, so as a Sex and the City self-proclaimed historian, I would have to say that this does not match Carrie's lifestyle at all. Because yeah, she could be a cat lady because she's single, the eternal single
Mhm.
girl, blah blah
Mhm.
blah.
Mhm.
Let's not forget, dear listeners, that she killed Aiden's plant when they lived
Oh, that's
together.
right. That's
She
right.
lost his dog Pete.
That's
She's
right.
not good with living creatures.
That's
And
right.
Big died on her watch. So, I mean, come on. No, I'm just kidding.
But for somebody who, if you're going to be somebody who's on the go a lot and you're not great at taking care of things, a cat is a perfect animal for you because
I
a cat
guess
can take care
so.
of themselves. Mm-hmm.
So you're telling me that Shu is okay with her being in Greece?
No, I'm assuming Charlotte is looking after Shu. And if you are Carrie and you're taking off anywhere, Charlotte is the only person that you want taking care of your shit while you're gone.
Yeah,
100%.
true. Because Miranda's too
So
crazy.
at Charlotte's, Harry wakes her up from her drunken stupor to tell her Anthony wants to talk about his ass virginity. And I just wrote, why would you go to Charlotte about that? Why Charlotte? Charlotte's not going to be able to give you any insight into ass sex. You know this.
I think that this is due to the episode that we both disliked, the storyline with Charlotte's insecurity about her body or whatever. That
Mm.
he was complaining about one thing and she was complaining about the other thing, and they were just talking at each other but not really listening. So maybe it was one of those kind of things.
Of the characters in this cast, who would you call? It would be Samantha.
Yeah, but
They could have
she's not
had
on
like a
screen.
one-sided conversation with him, you know what I mean, or something. You have her for the cameo, throw a line in there about the ass sex. That's all I'm saying.
Doesn't he know any other gay men he could talk to?
Oh, yeah, that would be obvious. Yeah. Yeah, thank you. So Harry's like, I made breakfast and, I got the kids up. And Charlotte, and he goes, I can't do it all, Charlotte. And Charlotte's like, you are not doing it all. You're doing the bare minimum. And then she says, you need to go tell Anthony I'm not available. Steve's out at his clam shack when Miranda shows up. Now, I mistakenly said it was clam and beer last week, but what is it? It's clams and
Hot dogs and
corn, hot
clams.
dogs. Okay. Ooh, clams and corn sounds really good right now. So
I don't
he's
think I've
keeping.
ever had a clam.
Oh, clams are so good. He's keeping the name Paul's daughter because he says he wants to be someone else because he's had a rough couple of years, but he's good now. And Miranda says, I don't want to be completely in your past. Like, can't we just be friends? And then, and this is where Michael Patrick King was crying. She says, you're smart, Steve. Like, almost like you have to reassure your child. Steven, you're really smart.
Yeah.
And, going to, well, she did say, like, going to Brooklyn at that time was smart. And you were right about us being parents. And he says, but I wasn't right. Or she goes, but you weren't right about us. And he says, yes, I was for a very long time.
Which is
And
true.
it was a nice scene. And Brady
Yeah.
saw them together and they're like staring out at the ocean. It was lovely. My parents divorced when I was 21. And anytime I see them together and they're being nice to each other, it does kind of bring like a warmth to your soul to see that.
Right.
I get it. All right, now we move over to Columbia, where Naya is told that she's elected to the prestigious American Law Institute. And she tells Miranda about this, and she's like, but I have no dude, no man to share it with, all these great accomplishments.
That made me kind of sad for
Me
her
too.
because I get what she means, the sentiment of like not having someone special to share this excitement with. But she is a fully realized person with a great
Mm-hmm.
career. She's
Mm-hmm.
well respected, well liked. I mean, it was like a unanimous vote. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes women who are very career driven and stuff, they feel like that
Yeah.
they're missing that one last thing. It's like everything else is great except I don't have someone to share this with. And I don't want to be a girl that's like, I need a man. Like you should be enough for yourself. But the truth is, we are social creatures and we
Mm-hmm.
need people.
Yeah, and I mean, she is just coming out of this very long relationship.
Right.
And she was like, it was my instinct to call Andre Rashad. It's like, why do we have to say his last name every time we say his name?
Because
Even MPK does it on the thing.
they're trying to make that like a thing, like fetch. They're trying to make
Whatever.
it happen.
Don't make fetch happen. So at the dinner, now we have the dinner, and Carrie is wearing what I'm calling an MC Escher dress. Did you see this dress?
Yeah.
It looks like an MC Escher painting. Like I don't know if it's I'm going up the stairs, down the stairs. It's Cubert. I don't know what's happening.
The shape was very interesting. I think that SJP just wears clothes really well. She's good
I
with
mean,
that.
she's beautiful.
I mean, her body is perfect, I think. I
I
mean, I
mean,
think
I
she
would,
was like a
yeah.
dancer growing
I
up or
would wear like
something.
anything if I looked like that. I always
If
say to
I
my kids, like,
would be
my kids
naked.
will go and they pick out like jeans and big sweatshirts. I'm always like, don't you want to try on like beautiful fashions? Like, you're young, you
Yeah.
look good. Like, now's the time to do it. No,
Yeah,
they don't
but they
want
want to look like Billie Eilish. I mean,
to.
that's
I
cool.
guess that's cool. So LTW's there. She tells Charlotte that she miscarried, but she's like, I don't want to talk about it here. Like, not here. And then Harry shows up with a new phone for Charlotte because she is slaying it at work.
Mm-hmm.
And then Anthony and Giuseppe show up, and Che's there, and they meet Lisette. Lisette, to no one's surprise, is a big fan of Che's. This goes hand in hand with me with
Yeah.
this whole storyline because I don't like Lisette. She's annoying, and they like the worst comic ever. So I'm
Yeah.
not surprised. Che says they're transitioning between emotional states. Jackie shows up, starts ribbing Che about their failed pilot, and they're going
Yeah.
at it a little bit. What do you think of Jackie?
I I love Bobby Lee himself
Mm-hmm.
as an
Mm-hmm.
actor and everything, and as
Yep.
a
Yep.
comic, he's really funny, very talented. I hate this character so much
I
because
do
he's
too.
just unnecessarily obnoxious. And
Yes,
it's
and
not
he's mean.
funny.
He's
He's
right.
mean. He's mean.
Like at one point, he says he wants to get rid of smoke. Like, why
His
would you
wife,
say, dude? Again, you're punching above your weight here with
she
her.
is so hot and a
Yeah.
lot younger than him because
Yeah.
he's playing, I don't know what age he's playing because dude is in his 50s and Smoke is like 20 something.
He's one of those people that could be 19, could be 54. We don't know.
Yeah.
We're not unsure. So Naya and Miranda come in and Toussaint is there. Now we remember him from when he hit on her at the bar in the first episode or second.
Yeah.
He's the Michelin chef. Now we said at the time that there was a reason they had a big actor playing that role.
Yeah.
So here we
This
go.
man is so effing gorgeous. I would drop kick Naya for a shot at him. Oh
You
my
would
God,
tackle her
those
on the stairs and
eyes.
just jump on him?
I would push her down the stairs like showgirl style, make her trip, and just be like, love me. He is so hot. And those eyes, oh my
He's super hot.
God.
Yep. Miranda meets up with Che, and Che says, look, I will never do that again. I'll never do the jokes again. I'm really sorry that happened. Miranda says, I thought we ended well. And Che says, I thought so too until you ghosted me. And
Okay,
then
2 calls is not ghosting.
I know. Che says, Miranda, we were a train wreck. And Miranda, I'm going to be MPK for a second. And Miranda has this beautiful, rich line where she goes, trains take you to where you need to be. And oh, chef's kiss. Okay. All right. He does go on and on like that though. You've
Yeah,
heard
he
it, right?
does.
It's
Yeah. The thing about that podcast, it cracks me up because it's like they didn't write it because they're so impressed with this work, and then
yes.
they remind you that no, they wrote it. So it's like, oh my god, this is so
Super weird.
self-serving.
Super weird. It's like a circle jerk. So what did you think about Che and Miranda? Like, can they be friends? Can they move forward? What's going on here? Do we never need to have them together in the same room again? Because that's where I'm at.
Okay, we don't need Che on this show again. Please write Che off. One.
Oh God,
We
please.
do not need Miranda and Che drama. It's over. Move on.
It's over. It's over.
We do not need any of this. They need to stop with Che. Again, do not stop trying to make Che happen. And then with the renewal, the gall of these people,
Okay.
the variety like screenshot saying like it got picked up for season 3, and it's Che, the most hated character in this franchise.
I know. And Michael Patrick King said our goal for season 2 was to show all of the interior lives of all of these characters who are a permanent place in this world.
Oh my
Che's
god.
not going anywhere, guys.
And I think
Che's
at
not
one
going
point
anywhere.
he did say, the 7 principles. And I was like, no, 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 please don't. No,
Mm-mm,
no, no,
mm-mm.
no.
Che's not going anywhere. The call's coming from inside the house. So Naya and no, I'm sorry. Giuseppe reveals to Charlotte and LTW that he's going to be returning to Rome. And because the New York publishing industry is impenetrable to poets? Yeah, it is. Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. Do you really like are they publishing poetry in Italy? Do I need to go over there?
I don't think that's a lucrative deal anywhere.
Take it from a poet. They're not publishing poetry.
No,
You
they're
get a
not.
chapbook if you're lucky. You get a full length with like a Write Bloody or something, and that is the pinnacle.
Or if
You're
you're
not Random
lucky,
House.
you get like added to an anthology with a whole bunch of other poets.
Yeah. Like Random House is not publishing poets. They might do two. And like you've probably heard of them. They're huge.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay. So Anthony's stunned by this, and they have a little fight. And Giuseppe says, "You're always making excuses to keep me out of your ass, your heart, and your life. And I can't take the walls that you put up." And Anthony says, "I've only been in love once before, and I called all the shots." And Giuseppe's like, "Oh, so you're saying you're in love with me?" And Anthony's like, and then they start making out hardcore in the closet, and they
Yeah.
don't stop for anyone.
I
Several
mean,
people walk through, and they just keep making out.
it was insane. It was
Mhm.
just, they
Mhm.
were like, these are the two most out guys in the world, and they were
Mhm.
making out in a closet.
It was so weird. So Carrie introduces, oh no, I'm sorry. Seema and Robbie show up first, and she's acting all weird. So they run into Carrie. Carrie's talking about this art she has on the wall. She's making like small talk with Robbie, who she barely knows.
Right.
Seema's just standing there. And then Seema's like, "I'm not doing any work here because I said I loved him and he's blown me off and that's it."
You know what that looked like to me at first when Carrie was like trying to make the small talk and everything, and she's just standing there. I was like, why is she standing there like that? It reminded me of like someone on Broadway who's like literally counting the beats to their line. That's what it felt like to me.
Okay. Hey everyone, stay tuned. Little Miss Recap will be right back after these words. Now Carrie introduces the entire dinner party to Shoo, her kitten.
He's so cute.
And she goes on and on about how this is her new baby and she has to go put her baby to sleep and blah, blah, blah. This upsets LTW and she runs into the bathroom.
Yeah.
Because, guys, remember, she had a miscarriage. So she's, still feeling the grief and pain of that, which she probably will for a long time.
Yeah.
So Herbert follows her. And I'm going to say something right now. I've been hard on husband Herbert, but he was good in this episode.
He was.
And the actor's great.
Oh,
But
he's amazing.
the character was good in this episode. So he goes into the bathroom after her and she's sitting there and she's like, "Did I wish the baby away?" Which we knew this was coming.
Yeah.
And of course he's like, "No, absolutely. That's ridiculous. This was an unfortunate accident. Like this happens, blah, blah, blah." So he comforts her. Now they go back out through the closet where Anthony and Giuseppe are like practically having sex. Now dinner is served, and the chef explains how to eat the appetizer, and there is just such double entendre here. It's ridiculous. It's like watching Porky's from the 80s.
Yeah. Which
Ridiculous.
Kim Cattrall started.
Oh, she did. You're right.
She was the howling one. The whoo.
Yep.
Yeah.
So Ravi now has some kind of movie emergency, and he has to go to Egypt. Something about shooting in front of the Sphinx. And Seema comes downstairs and she's like, "Okay, you've been down here for how long? You need to come back upstairs. This is ridiculous. Like, I said I love you and you're just running away." And he finally says to her, like, "Dude, you're insulting me. Like, this is real shit that's happening with my job. Like, back off."
Mm-hmm.
Carrie gives a toast and says she wants them to go around the table and she wants them to say something they want to let go of, and it can only be one word and you can't repeat. And MPK's like, "And Sarah Jessica, she did something I did not see coming. She stood for this scene, and oh, the magic." I was like,
wouldn't you stand if you're at the head of the table and you're trying to like get people's attention? Like, hey, everyone, baby. That's just logic. Just because you didn't write it into the script doesn't mean that SJP is not an actress for like 30 something years and can't figure that fucking out.
He is really an SJP fangirl. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. I love her too, but it's like, come on.
I know. So they go around the table, and here's what everybody says they're going to let go of. Anthony says control. Giuseppe says Rome. Ravi says social media. Seema says distrust. Miranda says guilt. And LTW's like, "I'm taking guilt also. Like, tough shit. I don't care if we can't repeat." Herbert says, "Can you come back to me?" Which I didn't know what that was about.
And they never do.
No. Lisette says fear. Harry says possessiveness. Charlotte says limits. And Carrie says expectations. Assuming things will go the way we think they should because you never know what tomorrow will bring.
Yep.
Okay. After the party, Miranda's boss calls her, and there's an emergency with the UN. She has to go on BBC. Like, she just has to.
Yeah.
So she gets whisked over to the BBC studios, and who's there waiting for her? Joy. Now, let me ask you a question. You've been very open on this podcast and our last one about your recovery.
Yes.
If someone said to you, "Let's go for a drink," and you said, "No, I don't drink," and someone said, "Well, maybe you will," wouldn't you be a little offended by that?
First of all, I'd be pissed. It's like telling a vegetarian, "Oh yeah, but after you have this steak, you'll be good." It's like, no, bitch, no.
Right. Like, if someone tells me they don't drink, I take that very seriously. I don't ask questions. I just say, okay, and just move on with my own life. Like,
Usually what I do is when people are like, "Let's go out for a drink," I was like, I'll join you for a mocktail, kind of saying it like that.
Perfect.
Kind of like,
yes.
I don't really drink, but I'll have a mocktail with you.
Yeah, that's a good point. She didn't even have to say I don't drink. She could have just went along and had a mocktail or, a seltzer, whatever. Like something non-alcoholic. Absolutely. Good point. I just thought it was kind of weird that Joy said that and that Michael Patrick King wrote that in.
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of weird. Because they spent 6 months trying to convince us that Miranda's an alcoholic.
So do you think that next season Miranda will date Joy and she will turn her into an alcoholic again?
Ooh, she'll fall off the wagon?
Yeah, because if she's so insistent, like, "No, bitch, after this, you're gonna drink."
Let's do that. At the end, let's talk about what we predict for each character for the next season. Okay. We see Naya and the chef leaving together. Ravi's going on and on about filming in front of the Sphinx, and he invites Seema to come with him for 5 months, and she says, "No, I'm a strong woman. I've accomplished a lot, and I'm not throwing it out the window for a man." All right, now we have Carrie snuggling with Shu.
No.
and there's rocks hitting her very expensive plate glass windows. I would freak out if somebody's throwing rocks at these windows.
But if you know the series,
She
she
throws them
did
at his window.
on season 4 to try to get back with him.
Mm-hmm. But they were younger.
Mm-hmm.
Now we know the value of a plate glass window. So it's Aiden, and he comes in the apartment. She's like, oh my God, you're in the apartment. Then she clocks that he doesn't have any luggage. He makes her sit down, and he says, I have to go right back. Wyatt needs me. He said he had shrooms and beer in his system, and he was in a car crash. That one needs a lot of watching. Now, I'm sure John Corbett's a great actor. I've seen him in other things.
Yeah.
He's wonderful. Aiden, this was way too casual. This was
Yeah.
way too casual. He's like hokey. He's like, that one, he needs a lot of watching, that one. So I'm going to blow up everything we talked about and just go back. Like, it was like real weird.
And then on the same breath, he's like, oh, and my 17 and 20-year-old are still not grown enough for me, so I got to watch them too. It's like, dude.
Yeah, it's so weird. He says he needs to be there. He doesn't, he explains that the wife, Kathy, I guess, travels a lot for her work. I don't know. She goes to the textile factory in China, I guess, to see how things are made. I don't know.
Maybe she goes, to the silk market. That's a thing.
I don't know what's happening.
I actually went there when I went to China. So
there you go. So he's like, I've always been like the center of the home, the heart of the home for these boys, and I need to be there. And she's like, okay, well, I'll come with you. He's like, no, because I'll be focusing too much on you and not on them. What? And then he says, I don't want to lose you, but I need 5 years to get this kid out of his teens. 5? So I have a lot to say here, but we do have a comment that we wanted to read about this, correct?
yes, and it surmises it so beautifully that I was like, can we please read this? And it's from one of our backdoor friends. Her name is Robin, and the fact that John Corbett said, or Aiden said that whole thing about like I need 5 years, she comments, this was stupid. Let me say this caveat with my opinion that it was stupid because I became a widow in my mid 40s. I was in the middle of raising 3 kids, ages 13, 16, and 20. I started dating again 2 years later after my husband's death. Youngest kid was having some anxiety issues and even suicidal ideation for a short period of time. I was able to both, in caps, fully attend to my child and her needs and keep the relationship with my partner happening. So Aiden acting like he can never leave Norfolk to see Carrie, or that she can never come to Norfolk to spend time with him because he must focus on his kids every minute, is not reality. It's bullshit. I added the bullshit part because it's like, come on. And so she says, what would be more realistic would be for him to tell Carrie, look, my son is in crisis mode right now. I need to spend the next 6 to 8 weeks getting him stabilized, get him a therapist, and make a game plan with him and the mother and the brothers. And I love you so much, Carrie, and we will make this work. Just give me a bit of time to get my son back on track, and we will continue this thing one day at a time. Not say, well, give me 5 years to only focus on my son. Wait for me.
Thank you, Robin, for your expertise and your experience. And she's 100% right.
100%.
I've never been a single parent, but I will say my best friend was a single parent, Stephanie, and she had twin boys who were little when she got divorced. She managed to have a relationship and to get married to a very, very, very wonderful stepfather to them, all at the same time. There's millions and millions and millions of single parents around the world who are great parents to their children, but also have relationships.
Wyatt
this is so weird.
A monster. He is just a bratty teen who doesn't want his dad to move on, essentially, or date someone else because he hates Carrie.
Wyatt is... It's hard for me to take that view. I get that, but...
No, I mean, the way that MPK writes him and writes children in general.
Yes, thank you. Yes, I agree with you. Now, I'm trying to think, if that was my daughter, I would do exactly what Robin said. I would be like, this is crisis mode. I need to be here for this. My daughters come first over everything.
Yeah,
However, like, why do we have to put a timeline on this? Like, let me get her through this crisis and then I'll be back in touch. It shouldn't take 5 years.
exactly.
And then, like, you're going to wait until the kid is 20?
But then again, in the same breath, he's saying that his 17 and 20-year-olds still need him. So then when he gets to 20, what's the next excuse? Let's get him to 30?
It's so weird. It's so weird. I don't understand why Carrie just can't go there.
Yeah, that was weird.
Maybe the alternate ending was that Carrie's going to move to Virginia and live in that beautiful farmhouse.
And then she would have to sell another apartment.
She's going to give it to Miranda.
Miranda is houseless, and Carrie did not even offer her apartment. Be like, hey, just one live here.
I know. So now, we get this montage at the end, like they always do with the music. And we see Harry and Charlotte setting up her phone. I guess that's their storyline. They're setting up an iPhone 14.
Amy, and let me interject a little bit. MPK says, oh no, I think it was one of the female writers on the podcast said that is the most romantic thing, the most romantic scene ever.
Okay.
Watching them fiddle with an iPhone because, that's like real marriage. Wow. I wanted to shoot my brains out.
Okay. And one of them is like, should I go get rock? Like, yeah, go get rock.
Yeah.
You have a Gen Zer living in the house. Go get them. Set up the phone.
In 2 seconds, that would have been set up.
Mm-hmm. Anthony's getting fucked in the ass. That's amazing.
Comically, because his face is not enjoying it.
We see Che and Toby kissing. So that was, I do enjoy Toby. I like Toby.
Toby is so adorable. Mm-hmm, but again, did you care that Che got a love interest? No, I don't care.
No. If Che went to kiss Toby, tripped, and fell out that window on the 10th floor of their apartment, I would have the same feeling. Oh well.
They already did that with Christine Johnson in season 6.
Yes, I remember that. Yeah. And Aiden and Carrie have this wild, like, really big love scene where they're like switching positions. And
I think that's the most naked SJP has been on this show.
Yeah.
Like, Amy, it occurred to me watching it because you see like John Corbett, like you almost saw his Corbett.
Which I don't know if we need to. Again, I love him, but and we see Ravi and Seema having sex, and then we see Carrie saying goodbye to Aiden, and she tells him this was not a mistake. This was not a mistake. And then Seema calls her, and they go to Greece, and just like that, I ordered 2 more Cosmopolitans. Dumbest ending ever.
Right, because see, here's the thing. Seema and Carrie...
ever, I should say. Ending line ever.
Carrie and Seema are at this beach in Greece. And when did Carrie learn Greek? Okay, interesting.
Yeah, apparently she knows Greek.
She knows Greek to order Cosmopolitans. And, Seema was all like, oh, I got to wait 5 months and you got to wait 5 years. And, she kind of says like, Carrie just tells her, like, yeah, there'll be others. It was like, men? And she goes, no, drinks. So that's why they connected the whole, and just like that.
Stupid. So stupid. So stupid. It should have been like, I don't know, in just like that, the Last Supper was complete. Or, I don't know, something. And just like that, Che fell out a window. I don't know, something.
She's a writer. She could have just said, and just like that, I began my new chapter. Hello?
Yeah, anything. And just like that, we found ourselves a little hot girl summer. Something like that. Anything. All right. Now, let's talk predictions. So it's getting a season 3. I'm not thrilled about this.
I love it.
Where does Carrie go from here?
Well, if you notice, and I think that MPK mentioned it on the podcast, that she kind of does a little wink, like maybe I'll get time off for good behavior. So kind of alluding that maybe Aiden will miss her so much that he kind of, will come back before the 5 years. But my thing is, are they on a break like Ross and Rachel? And they could just like fuck anyone?
I don't know.
Like, what is this?
I don't know. I mean, does Wyatt need so much of Aiden's attention that his dick is going to shrivel up and fall off? Because he just has to stare at Wyatt for 5 years?
I don't get like exactly the
Like
look.
his little Corbett needs some love. What's gonna
There's
happen?
there's just no logic to this.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Like, are they dating? We don't know.
So maybe what they do, because the writers on the original run of Sex and the City really loved it when they had a lot of like these big name guest actors to play like Carrie's love interest for like a one off. So
Mm-hmm.
maybe if they're like on a break, she'll probably have like horrible, funny, funny in quotation marks, experiences with these dates. And then Aiden comes back at some point and says, I can't live without you.
What do you think about, are we gonna get a Matthew Broderick love interest?
I don't think so. I don't even think,
I'm shocked they've never done that. I mean,
yeah,
he's an actor.
yeah.
I'm surprised they've never done that. That
And
would be
she's his
interesting.
biggest fan, so
Yeah, I think that would be interesting if they did that. I'm up for it.
yeah, why not? Ferris, get on
Hmm.
here.
Get on here. Um, okay, so you're right. I think we'll see her dating again. Miranda, I think we're gonna see with Joy
Yeah.
and building maybe her relationship with Steve. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. Like a friendly kind of thing, co-parenting.
I- Naya, I don't know. Maybe Naya will get pregnant.
Oh, with Susan?
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if she
I'm
really
not
wants
sure.
it though.
I'm gonna say I'm not sure of her infertility issues, so I don't mean to offend anybody by that. I can't remember what they were. If she just
No, they
wasn't able
had
to.
yeah, they had a couple of rounds of IVF that didn't
Hmm.
take, and
Yeah,
so that's why
yeah,
she kind of gave up on that. So that's why Andre Rashad at the beginning of this season was like, I got the solution, a surrogate. And she like drops the phone, like, no.
yeah.
So I don't think she wants a kid.
Andre Rashad needs to be on the sidewalk when Jay falls out of the window, and he needs to be landed on. Um,
Amy, let me be honest with you. When I saw Aiden leaving and he does like that final look, I thought a fucking truck was gonna come and kill him.
okay, you're not the only person who thought that. I
Because I
thought the
was
same
like,
thing.
something bad is gonna happen
What
right
is gonna
now.
happen here? I just don't know like any good arcs for these people. I have no idea.
And
It's
can I
so
just
weird.
say that Kristen Davis is the MVP of this entire series? She is the
Well,
most consistent in terms of character
yeah,
wise.
yeah.
Charlotte, she delivers. She's funny. She's had like even in the first season that was so dark. She was the funniest thing about it.
My
Her and
whole thing
Anthony.
is the fact that we can't think of where these characters go from here is because they just so seemingly like wrapped it up.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like I don't think we need any more. I
Well, in
don't
season
know.
3, Charlotte's gonna get an android, and then all
Oh,
hell's gonna break
oh,
loose.
oh. Forget it. Forget it. Harry can't get those AirPods to connect. Who knows? All right, girl. So this is our last episode. So you will be seeing Leslie again, I'm sure, but you will
Yeah.
absolutely be seeing her for season 3 of this shit show.
Yeah.
100%.
I am
Mm-hmm.
so excited. Like it's horrible because I love this show in the sense that I love talking about it. I love shitting on it. I
Mm-hmm.
love the pop culture aspect of it because it's everywhere. Because
Mm-hmm.
people are watching, they're hate watching, and this
Oh,
is
we're
why it
watching.
keeps getting renewed.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because you're like, how else are they gonna fuck this legacy up? That's what we're in for.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like Sister Wives. Like the ratings are through the roof, and you're like, what? But yet you're turning that bitch on every Sunday night at 10. Like it's
Exactly.
yeah, we don't know. We don't know. All right, why don't you tell everyone where they can find you?
So you can follow me online at Sinister Girls, or if you want to follow my little Barbie photo project, you can follow at libbydoll.nyc. She's going on a whole bunch of adventures, and today she's gonna go meet a few of RuPaul's Drag Race drag queens. So I'm all
Oh,
excited about
very
that.
cute.
Yeah, I get a
Very
meet and
cute.
greet. I'm gonna go see them in Radio City tonight, so it's
Are
gonna
you
be fun.
tagging all these people when you're
Hell yeah.
good? I hope you get like a little nod or something. That'd be
I know,
really cool.
right? Like,
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
take her to Liberty games all the time, and so I'm always tagging all the players and stuff. And I'm just like, can
Mhm.
you guys not like show me some love? I mean,
Mhm.
they're busy winning games. They're so awesome. My libs are doing so great. I'm so proud.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And guys, if you haven't already, join our Facebook group Backdoor Friends, and Amanda and I are covering Sister Wives. Those episodes will be on Patreon and Supercast. The links are in the show notes if you'd like to join to get those episodes. They will be out Sunday at 11 p.m. So as soon as the show's over, boom, the episode will be out.
Right, because you got screeners.
We got screeners. We're also covering 90 Day Last Resort, which is amazing.
Is it? I was like put off because of the cast.
Total trash. Okay. It's wonderful. And as always, follow us on Instagram at Little Miss Recap and leave a review. Thank you for those of you who have. A lot of people have been leaving reviews and we really appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Fun. Thank you so much. We'll see you soon.